Good evening, good evening, good evening. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Welcome to Beneath the Surface. We are here live back at you, the best podcast on Instagram. We are with you again. I am waiting for my guest, the newly elected Executive Vice President of Livingstone College. He will be with me shortly. Just give him just a brief moment, and he is here. Let me go ahead and have him come on in. Yes, yes, yes. Good evening.
Good, bro. How you?
Greetings.
How you, man?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, sir?
I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling.
I hear you, sir. Man, and go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody that don't know you. Go ahead, my brother.
Well, again, I am Charlie Christian Van Collins. I am a junior at Livingstone College. I am also the SGA Vice President, newly elected. I am also a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, and it's glad to be here, bro.
So, man, tell me, how does it feel to now be the executive vice president of the student government? I know the journey has started for your board, so tell me, how has it been thus far?
Um, in words of LeBron James, it's about damn time. It, it's about damn time. Um, it's just been a blessing working with my president, my newly elected president, Justin Wade, my advisor, Mr. Brown, and Mr. and Mrs. Samari and Blue. Yeah, man, it's just great working with them already.
Look, I'm excited for you guys. I'm so excited for you guys. But I'm gonna go ahead and dive right into this. How did you get to Livingstone? How did you cast your lot at Livingstone College?
So how I got to Livingstone, I got to Livingstone because my GPA wasn't good. I went to the school with a 2.3. I didn't take high school very seriously. I just thought it was a game. And getting to my junior and senior year, I was looking at it like, bro, this ain't no game. I have 2 more years and then I'm done. I got to figure something out. So I was going to a public school, then I went to a private school, New Bern Christian Academy. They molded me into where I need to be, Christian school. Um, and I got my grades up and Livingstone. My aunt works at Livingstone. I applied to St. Augustine. That's where my father went, and I wanted to be a Falcon so bad because of my father. So I went on tours. I tried to fill out applications for them. They never hit me back. I signed for Livingstone. I got um, I got accepted on the spot. But then after that, 2 weeks later, I got the exception letter from St. Aug. But I already signed at Livingstone, so I was torn. I was like, where do I go? I can always tell Livingstone I'm not going, but and then my dad said, go where your heart is. You already put Livingstone. You already tell everybody, go where your heart is. So I chose Livingstone.
That's beautiful. Because I'm kind of glad you chose Livingstone because that's how we met, man. Because we met, we both was at a rocky situation when we first met, and I think that was the beautiful encounter for me and you because we met when I was in a low place, and you were really like, "Bruh, I don't even want to be here, bruh. I'm ready to go back
Right.
home." And that conversation that night, you told me all your goals and your dreams and everything. And one of the things that you told me was, I want to be executive vice president. And I told you, you need to stay. You need to stay. And I'm so glad that you stayed because now you are the executive vice president of the student government. So for me, it's like um, the big brother get to see the little brother
Yeah.
mold itself because that's the way I look at you guys. I look at your guys as my brothers. So it's so cool. But tell me about some of your influences and your the people that you look up to. Some of the influences that you have, black men, black women that you have that influence you as your leadership through for your
So
leadership journey.
first off, I want to give honor to God. If it wasn't for God, none of this would be possible. Let's just go ahead and say that. God, it would be my parents. They're my biggest supporters. After my parents, it would be my godfather, which is my pastor, Pastor Livingstone the third. After him, then it would be Mr. Brown, our advisor,
Mm-hmm.
being that father figure on campus when my father like was 4 hours away. So that and many others. I'm not trying to forget people's names, but
Yes, I do. Yeah.
there's many others that just poured in my life growing up and where I'm at now.
So let's talk about something that that leads into that influencer, because me and you got to deal with it personally with all of the social injustice. There was a lot of conversations that we had on and off campus. There
Yeah.
was a lot of agree and disagree moments that we had. But tell me, when you see what's going on, I know how you feel and I know your stance on that. But I think people need to know your stance because it's really important, the stance that you take. Um, but tell me about that, because the stance that you take is really important for people of your generation to understand that you have a voice, you have a stand. But go into that for me, because I know, because me and you talked about it, me
Yeah.
and you have been in those same rooms to have those conversations. But tell the people about
You just talking about in general or
it. In
me?
general, yeah, just in general.
I just believe that we all should be treated fairly. Um, Honestly, I know the world is it's just the world. We're not of the world, but we are in the world, and I just believe that racism is to be dead. But that's something that we're never going to look past. It's always going to be here. And
Mm-hmm.
sad to say, but it's always going to be here. And it's crazy that we have to live in this time that we go to HBCU and just to see the brighter story of it, of seeing a lot of black scholars that go to school with me, our colleagues, we see them. It's just unbelievable that I see people that can be doctors, lawyers, everything else, but it's always that upper power that's always denying them because of their
Mm.
or because the way they dress or the way they look, and it's time out for that. Why you just want to give them the job who can do the right job, not because of what they look like or what they got on their birth certificate, white, black, Japanese or Chinese or whatever, black, blue, pink, it don't matter. If you can get the job done, why not have that person do it? And I just believe this world should turn into that place that we should have a love as what Dr. Martin Luther King want us to do, instead of just have all this violence and all this killing on like George Floyd. It was a big thing, and I don't agree with how his situation happened, but I'm glad it got settled. But I'm not glad with the time limit they gave him.
Mm.
22 years, I believe. 22 years was that. That's still his life. He still have, but he took another man's life. That's yeah. He may have the issues in his past, but his past don't reference his future. When I do my elevator speech, I always come out and say your present situation is not your final destination. But apparently, in that situation, George Floyd, that was his final destination, which it shouldn't have been. Just because you know what I did then, don't mean you know what I'm going to do now. You
Oh,
don't know
that's
how it's
good.
going to change. So it's like give people opportunities to be who they are to at least change for the better. You don't know how a person will act about how they went to somebody can be growing up in a bad situation. They may not know how to get a job. They may just know stealing. Just because they stole once and go to jail, you can't beat them down because they may not know better. They may haven't got brought up the way I got brought up to go out and work for mine. They may just brought up to steal this, steal that. It's all about how you've been raised. But now they had to go to prison and sit there and be like, this ain't the right way. Now I'm getting taught. But now I have a second chance in society to go out here and do what I have to do. So that's my take on it.
And it's so beautiful that you say that, because everything that you just said, we talked about privately. And we talk about it a lot. And people don't realize that we, as not just black men, but people in general, just want to be treated equally. And it's so difficult to get treated equally when we see that we have the same resume as somebody else. And we may have more on our resume, but they get hired over us. And then you
Yeah.
tell us it's fair, it's equal. y'all had the same opportunity. But when I look at my resume and you look at their resume, I have a little bit more. And those are the things that we talk about. And that's why, I love having people that go to a HBCU on here, because so many people assume that we don't talk about these things at HBCUs, that we don't have these issues, these dialogues, and we do. The same problems that we face in the world, they are escalated to us. They're escalated. And should it be that way? No, it shouldn't. But it is that way. So when you look at that, tell me how that affects your leadership side of it, because now you now have a student body to look after and to make sure that their voices is heard. So when you look at what's going on in the world and you bring that into your leadership, how do you bring that all together? Because it's a double-edged sword here, that you have to be the vice president, but also the social injustice person. And then you got to be the student, and then you got to be the brother, the son. So tell me how you balance all of that stuff out.
Just having that family knit people around. I may work with a lot of people, but it's a difference in working and have family. I don't see them as just my president or just my Mr. and Mrs. or, so on. It's like we have a family. And going to NASAP, which hopefully we'll talk about after.
Yes, we gonna get into that. Yes, we are.
Going with them, it made me see that they're my family. So with them, I can talk to them. It's not always personal ways. When we talk about business, he always calls. I'm going somewhere. He always calls to make sure I'm good. We'll be on the night, but he had another engagement. But it's like we have a family. So having somebody to talk to, that's knowing that what you're going through and they're going through the same thing, is very easy because we're one. Nobody's left behind.
And I'm glad you said NASAP, because I was going to that was in transitioning right into your experiences of the leadership conference. Because yes, we go to conferences to get hyped, to turn up, to have a good time, but we also go for the leadership development and the networking and the brainstorming and those things. So tell me that little bit of how that conference was for you and from your point of view and what you took from it.
NASAP was amazing. Whoever put NASAP on, kudos to Mr. Livingstone, the advisor at Savannah State. Thanks. I want to thank Savannah State for hosting it. They was a good host for them 7 days. It was just amazing, man. I took so much leadership from the individuals that taught us, and just being around other HBCU leaders, understanding what they and what they school put them through, and what I can bring to Livingstone, and what I cannot bring to Livingstone, and what we can build on how to make a constitution better, or to get this here or get that there. So it was a lot of stuff that poured into me, that was poured into all the students that went with us, that we can take back to our classes and make Livingstone take it where the next step where Livingstone need to be in this society.
And see, that's the beautiful thing about it, man. And that's why, when me and you spoke, because me and you spoke right before the campaigning and things started, when people was getting things started, and you asked me straight up, hey, bro, you running for SGA president? And I said, no. And you kind of was like, what? And yeah. I said, that time for me has finally come to an end. That door has shut. It's for me to now oversee, to watch other people grow and to enjoy this thing, because going to those conferences, you got connections that are a lifetime.
Yes.
That are a lifetime, and those connections you build on for years and years to come. I still talk to the state president from the state council from when I was in the community college. I still talk to her. Me and her are still connected. I still talk to everybody on that board. Those connections you keep for a lifetime. The group, even though, yes, we turn up at conferences. I'm going to be real. Yes, there's a turn up session at every conference. But the most important piece is you gain knowledge for your institution, and you gain those lifelong friendships that you never know that can come after that, because that person may need you to come. Hey, I got this kiosk. I know you got a business. Can you come? Hey, sell some of your merchandise. That is what comes out of those conferences, and I'm so glad that y'all were able to go, because for me, going to the UNCF conference, it was a shell-shocking experience, seeing so many Black leaders and seeing, oh shoot, they got a business. You know what I'm saying? Oh shoot, they making shirts. Oh shoot, you design shoes. Oh, you making music.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a podcast. And it's like, this is all happening at HBCUs, and it's not talked about, and it goes unseen. And it's unseen because we have to compete, unfortunately, against the bigger schools. And it shouldn't be that way. Like you said, it should be fair. And we don't get that fair opportunity to show our talent. So those type of conferences help us to show our own talent and to show what we have. So now, let's get into something, because now that you got out of NASAP, what are some, just give us a tidbit, don't give us a lot, because I know your 5 steps. I know but give us a tidbit of what Livingstone gonna see in this year's school year. Just a little bit, not a lot. Don't give them the whole spiel, just a little bit. Just a little bit. I asked Justin and Samari for just a tad bit. Just give us a little bit.
All I will say is this. Livingstone will see a different Livingstone. That's all I can say. That's all I can give you, man. Livingstone will see a different Livingstone. That's all I can say.
That's all we need. That's all I need. They need more.
I know you're going to say this, and it may not be a lot of people up here right now, but I know everybody go back and watch it. And when they go back and watch this, I don't want nobody to go back and tell Mr. Brown, as Charlie said, this is happening. No. Just know, a different Livingstone when you come back in the fall. It's going to be a different Livingstone.
I love it.
Administration, by the Wade Congress administration, by underneath Mr. Brown, and underneath our 12th president, Dr. Jimmy R. Kennedy Sr. It was a great academic school year. One that you never forget.
See, I can tell already you got that executive host. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me talk to my count. That was good there. That was good.
But just know, we are already in talks about different situations that's possibly happening. So just know it's in the works, man. Just know it's in the works.
Clearly, he been watching somebody. I don't know who he been watching, but he been watching somebody. That was good. There, he said, "I can't."
And so, what they be saying anything? That's I don't want to get caught or.
I don't want to get caught up. You don't want to get caught up like Usher. Hey, Usher got caught up like that. You see what he did? He had to make a whole album.
We're just gonna keep that. You already know, man. You already know what we do, man.
Man, and let me just say, I'm excited for you. I'm excited that I've been able to be part of your growth. That we are lifelong brothers now, forever. Yeah. We are lifelong brothers, ain't we lifelong brothers. But
man, blood couldn't even make us closer, man. It was before this.
Before that, and that's the thing about this, seeing you and Desmond, because y'all was the first 2 guys that I met.
Yeah.
Y'all were the first 2 that was like, hey, bro, I know you want to dip up out of here, but we need you here, bro. And that was cool because I was always around y'all. We was always goofing off.
Let me tell everybody about Charles. Let me tell y'all about him. First met him. His brother didn't want to be here because he lost his mother. We talked to him. He talked to me because I wanted to be home. I was always babied by my mom and my dad. I ain't want to be You come on, boy. You be all right. You got us. We walked the Sonic, man. I'll never forget this day. Me, him, and Desmond walked the Sonic. We got our little slushy. Y'all may think it's a little corny story, but it get real. We walked the Sonic, right? After we had our little slushy, we talked a little bit, had fun, joking around. We walking back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Don't go back on campus. People just got they're shooting on campus, they're shooting on campus.
Yeah.
And where we were about to go at, they were shooting at. And it was like, bruh, with me being with them 2 guys, It was just like, bro, we brothers forever. And ever since that day, they went one time we didn't have lunch. We always sat with each other at lunch, dinner,
Dinner.
cafeteria. People knew us, so we were the loudest ones in there.
Always loud.
If Justin was around, it was
Oh, we was
Justin.
debating. We was debating.
It was just always a good time, and then having my brother with me in Sigma Land, it just don't get no better than that. Bro. So that's
So
how
I,
far me and that.
I do gotta ask you one question because I asked Desmond this, and y'all two was really on board with the homework sessions with me. What? Because I asked him this, and I want to ask you this. What made you get on board with this crazy idea of doing homework sessions in Tubman when we had to fight like hell to just get the building up? And what made, because when I came to you guys, y'all was like, hey, bro, we can try, but we don't know. Let's see. What made you get on board? I heard from Desmond, but tell me your thoughts about it. Because it was just a crazy idea that we all thought about.
Just to go get out my comfort zone, being me. We were studying, but music. It was just the music. It was just the atmosphere. People would just pop in. It was just like, it wasn't just a normal study session. It was just like a chill, kickback vibe with music and trying to get the homework done. You had people to help. And it was just number love. Livingstone is number love. So it's like, bro, we're going in Tubman. We're going to chill out. We were goofing in there, but we also got our work done. The people that was in there, I guarantee you, if you look back at the grades, we had the highest GPA of our lives by doing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to say much. That's soon to come back.
I love it. I love it because the thing about it was when I came to you and Desmond, you was like, well, we in there, but you know, they always tell us to get out, and we literally had to fight, and both of y'all just stayed on board with it. It was like, hey, bro, we with you on this. And eventually by midterms of fall, we had that whole building full. The whole building was full. People was coming in and getting their homework done, getting stuff ready for
we had
midterms.
these classrooms, though.
Yes, we had to use classrooms.
Then we had to go to another classroom, man. It was just
so I thank you for that, man. And I know it's NBA Finals night. I'm hoping the Suns push it to a game 7.
Nah, like I was telling my friend, she's up here. I'm not gonna say her name because I don't like, but she's up here. I told her earlier. Chris Paul needs this tonight. He needs to win tonight.
He does.
Wins tonight, I can guarantee he will win Game 7.
I can't either.
If they would have won Game 4, I could have promised you they were gonna win Game 5. But right now, this is the truth. I don't care what nobody say. I'm gonna give some haters after this. Neither one of these teams supposed to be in the finals right now. Let's be real. If you want to be real, let's go back to the Suns.
I will agree with that if everything would have been healthy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't see this. This is my point. This is my opinion, Charles. If Giannis wins, this is the last championship he will ever win with the Bucks. My opinion. The Bucks don't have the money. The Bucks don't have the scenery for somebody as a big talent to go there.
I can agree with that.
This is Chris Paul's last chance to win a championship. But let's be real. If Chris Paul don't win this championship this year, he will still go down as one of the best, greatest point guards ever to play basketball. Now, this championship will put him in the top 5. He's already in my top 5, but he may remove Isaiah Thomas. He may.
I can agree with that. Okay. I can see real argument. But before we get out of here, that was our little sports talk. Me and him have to get off of here to debate our sports because we'll be on here. Yeah, we'll be here all night. That's why I said we're gonna leave that little dig alone about the NBA Finals. But before we get off of here, we so close. Do you have any questions for me, man? Before we get off of here,
man, my question is this: are you going to help us this semester coming up? Is Charles White going to be around?
You are the third. Like I told Samari.
One thing about Charles, he don't never need a title to work. Remember that. That's when Charles taught me. Just because you don't have a title, don't mean you don't need to work. That man will work without a title. He would do all the behind the scenes work and still get the stuff done. And it seemed like somebody else did it, but Charles did everything. I'm telling you right now, best man to have in your corner.
Um, I'm going to say this: SGA is always part of me. It will never leave me. Um, so I'm always one call away. Y'all know that. Y'all
Yeah.
know. Y'all know if you need the help setting up, breaking down. If you just need somebody for an ear for another person to hear an idea, I'm here for it. I'm just, like I told Samari, I was at the point in my life, if I continued this, nobody else was going to get an opportunity. And for me, it was like I told you, Charlie, probably. I've been on the state. I've done it nationally. I've done it at the community college and now at Livingstone. I feel like God has closed that door for me and he's going to open up a new door student life-wise for me. And if that's just being somebody that just comes in the room and being an extra ear, I'm cool with that. I'm comfortable with that. I'm very cool with that. But yeah, y'all know I'm going to be there. Y'all know it. Y'all know I'm going to give y'all, if I, like I told Samari and Justin, if I have grief, y'all going to hear from me. If I got a problem, y'all going to come, because what student leadership is, it's that student piece that people miss. You guys don't work without the student body.
Exactly.
You don't. We don't. Even with me being out of student government and student life, I'm still not able to do what I do without students, without the student government, without the student body, without students in general. We're not able to do what we do. These institutions don't have their doors open without students coming to them to leave their doors open and to pay that tuitions and fees and things like that. So for me, man, I'm just honored to meet the people that I've met, to have the relationships that I've had, and now to see y'all's growth and to see people at my community college growth. It's just an honor for me to be part of it and for you guys to say, hey, can you help us? What you going to do? Because we know you're going to do something. You're going to say something. So for me, man, it's just a blessing and an honor just to have that long experience and that long tenure in student government.
One more question, Charles. One more question, please, boss. Will Charles White be at homecoming this year?
Okay, Charles White will be at homecoming, but I will not be at the football game because I do have a wedding. My friend is getting married. I am a groomsman, but I will be at all of homecoming week. I just won't be at the football game. Y'all just won't see me at the football game. That's it. I will be at homecoming. I'm definitely going to be at the step show. Y'all can best believe that. I'm going to be there at that for you. I ain't missing my last homecoming. That's for sure.
Yo, Charles will be stepping for the signals. Just let y'all know. Charles is on step.
I knew that was coming. I knew it. Look,
nah, I don't know who's gonna step to you. Nobody go back and tell nobody. I said that. That was just a little joke.
It was a little joke, so don't nobody let know it was a joke. But look, I have lost some weight just in case. That's all I'm gonna say. I am losing. I'm getting. I gotta get it right.
Good.
But man, it was an honor to have you.
Man, I'm grateful to be here.
Man, it was an honor to have you. I'm gonna let you go prepare for the NBA Finals.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I told you we was gonna be short, sweet, because I do want to watch the game because I'm a little nervous about my boy from North Carolina. I'm rooting for CP3 because he's from North Carolina. Hey, I got to root for CP3 because.
Let's do something different, Charles. I'm telling you right now.
What's up?
If the Suns win tonight, the reason why I'm saying that again because they doing their little voting thing. The Suns, I see two Suns now. If the Suns win tonight, though. I want HBCUs to do something crazy with Chris Paul. That's something I want to happen. Because HBCUs need to be heard for Game 7. If there is a Game 7, I'm saying he go to Winston-Salem. He's not from Livingstone, but he is a HBCU product as of now. Game 7.
Yeah, because he's giving all his money to HBCUs.
If he wins tonight, us HBCUs need to do something for Chris Paul. We need to come out of we need to do something, have a little video, get it going on in the world, have everybody see it, everybody with their school talking about, let's go Chris Paul. We need to get that going because As much as he support us, we need to support him.
So to give you a little bit of inside information on Chris Paul, and last year when he started rocking and representing HBCUs, his first offer was not Wake Forest. His first, and as you bring up Winston-Salem, his first offer was Winston-Salem State. And as he grew as a basketball player and as he got nationally ranked, Wake Forest was pushing him to go. And so he wanted to stay closer to home because he knew his grandfather had passed away and he wanted to be closer to home. And he ended up going to Wake Forest. But he had cousins that went to Winston and cousins that went to other HBCUs. And for him, it was like, yes, my college is doing good. Wake Forest is good. I can drop $1 million now and be good. But what about these schools that I see the same color skin of me? And that was one of the things that he said. And having connections with some of his basketball players that play on his basketball team, that was one of the things that he said to them, is that it's bigger than just basketball. It's bigger than just being an athlete. And so hearing him say that, and then seeing him rock Livingstone and North Carolina Central and Howard and Spelman and Morehouse, seeing these players do that, it shows you. But it's a shift coming not only in sports, but in where students go to school. Because I was doing some research, and even though enrollments are low at other institutions, enrollment is going up at HBCUs. And that's the beautiful thing about it, is they're shining a spotlight on this thing. But now it's on us as students to continue to shine that spotlight on our schools. No matter how bad your school is, no matter how good your school is, if you go to an HBCU, you need to spotlight something positive at your school. Because that's what the Wake Forests, the UNCCs, the Chapel Hills, the William Peace Universities, even the Pfeiffers, those students spotlight their schools in a positive outlook to where people be like, oh, well, I'm going to Pfeiffer. And people be like, oh, well, Pfeiffer is a small school in Stanley County. It is a small school in Stanley County, North Carolina. It is. But they enrollment. So make sure that if you're an HBCU student, speak positive about your school.
Yeah.
Speak positive about your school. Even when you see the negative, figure out how you can solve a solution to fix that problem. But speak positive about your school. But brother, I thank you. I thank everybody for joining us on Beneath the Surface. Go enjoy the NBA Finals. What's today? Tuesday. Whatever show you watch on Tuesday night, I don't know what's come on because my TV stay on
ESPN. Have not. Last episode tonight too. Have not. My mom watching it. So I'm constantly, my TV stay on ESPN and CNN. So and Fox News, because I listen to the Democrats and the Republicans here, because y'all both crack me up if you ask me personally. So I gotta listen to both sides. But that's what I'm going to be watching tonight, because I definitely want to see what's happening with this thing in Haiti. So please be abreast of what's going on in the news as well. Make sure you do that. But we are out of here. Go enjoy the NBA Finals. Go Suns. Hopefully they'll push it to a Game 7. Till we meet again, we'll see you soon. Holla at you.